I'm very concerned about the potential merger of Comcast and NBC Universal. I know that you're not allowed to discuss the specifics of the merger, but I want to delve into this a little bit with you today. I'm concerned because I see the potential here for a consolidation of media in a way that is, to me, very frightening. You know, I worked at NBC a long time. I want the best for NBC. Jeff Zucker came to me and said, "This is good for him. This is, okay." He said, "This is good for NBC." And I said, "I know it's good for NBC. That's not the issue. The question is it good for the American people?" And to me, what we have is a situation where if this goes through, are we going to have a situation where Verizon and AT&T see the need to buy networks and studios? And are we going to get all our information, because Comcast is the largest cable provider and the third largest internet provider? Are we going to be seeing a situation where 5 companies are controlling all the information that we get? And I think that's a very dangerous situation. Are you familiar with FinCEN, what happened with the financial syndication laws in the early 90s?
Somewhat, yeah.
Okay, you remember that basically the networks were prohibited from owning their own programs.
Right, okay.
And that was reversed. And during the testimony of that, all the different networks, sorry for the sound here, all the different networks said, why would we buy our own, favor our own programs? We're in the business of getting ratings, and we wouldn't, we do just buy the best programs. Well, obviously what's turned out to be the case is that hasn't happened at all. They favor their own programs, and this set the scene for Disney buying ABC, and for Paramount and Viacom buying CBS, and NBC merging with Universal, and Fox, of course, owns Fox. So right now we have this incredible concentration, and most of the shows are owned by whoever owns that. And it's reduced competition for independent producers. Now, this is what we're seeing with Comcast, is that Comcast is, yes, it's a vertical integration, but it's also horizontal, because they both have sports programming that anybody who's has a cable network has to carry, and would be really in bad shape if they don't. My question is, how does the Department of Justice determine whether a merger is horizontal or vertical or both, and how does that impact the department's analysis of this merger?
Well, I'm somewhat restricted in what I can say about the investigation that is underway with regard to the Comcast NBC merger, but I can assure you that the department is conducting a thorough investigation of that proposed transaction. And if a determination were made that Comcast's acquisition of NBC would substantially impact competition in violation of the antitrust laws, we are committed to taking very serious enforcement action. I'm not really at liberty to talk about much because it is an ongoing investigation, but one that I think an antitrust division that has shown itself to be aggressive, appropriately aggressive, headed by Christine Varney, they are looking at this transaction.
Well, Mr. Varney, when he testified in front of the Commerce Committee last month, He testified about previous DOJ antitrust actions and discussed some of the significant conditions the DOJ imposed on the parties. And now I'm skeptical, but I'm still open to imposing conditions on a potential Comcast and NBC merger. But I have problems with with imposing conditions. First, it's hard to enforce them, since someone has to know that the condition has been violated and then report that to DOJ. And secondly, conditions almost inevitably expire after a few years. So I want to make sure that the Department of Justice make sure that merger conditions, would actually have enough teeth and have enough have a long enough life that they would really impose real conditions to prevent the very thing I'm fearing.
Well, again, maybe I can just take myself away from the NBC Comcast situation and simply say that when we look at these matters, we have a wide range of things that can be done, from stopping the merger itself, to putting into place a variety of conditions that the parties have to agree to in order to allow the merger to proceed. Again, not speaking about NBC Comcast, but just more generally. And we can, I think, make those conditions ones that are enforceable, have a degree of transparency there. Obviously, it involves having on the staff or having access to people who are experts in the field, not simply good antitrust lawyers at the antitrust division, but people who understand the particular field that we are trying to regulate. And I'm confident that we do have that capacity.
Well, I would hope that that my office and the folks over at DOJ who are looking at this can have an exchange of ideas on this, because this is something that affects people in ways they don't understand. I mean, this is including just your cable bill. And so I want some kind of assurance that I'll be able to do that.
Well, now I care. I'm a Comcast subscriber, and the fact that you point out it could have an impact on my cable bill has awakened.
I knew I could reach you somehow.
That's right. You've got the AG more than interested than I was going into this. Yes, no, but seriously, we will be glad to...
Way to Holder is through his pocketbook, I know that.
We'd be glad to work with you to listen to the concerns that you have and the observations that you have, given the experience that you have in the industry.
Thank you.